What's up, family? I'm Juan Castillo, and when I'm on social media, my favorite show to watch is the Don't Shoot the Messenger weekly podcast. Chris G, Professional Sutton, Rucker Report delivers sports the way it's supposed to be, real and authentic. So get ready to be entertained. My boys are ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Rucker Report, a.k.a. Jerry.
Ready? This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me, X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up?
They for real.
All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
You. Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
On behalf of our boy, the Rucker Report. Yo, listen, so this is my first time using my iPad. I don't have my computer set up, but we've been talking about this for a while. We gotta get the people what they want. So we are on here. We are going to do our best. Hopefully that there's no hiccups and delays. So I want to thank my peoples at the Rucker household for sponsoring this podcast here. So thank you. So before we started, back to school, Chris is very happy. He has my niece and nephew who going to school for the first time, and let me tell you, many people want to win Super Bowls. Many people want to win championships and MVPs. My boy Chris wants his kids to go back to school. Go to school, not back, go to school. So, Chris, how has that been for you? You've been cheesing like a Chester cat, kiki all over the place, as the old folks would say. How was that for you, man?
Love it. That's what
it is, man.
Love it.
Listen, it's nothing like that back to school air, The parents get to get their back to school clothes on, which is for fathers usually some sweatpants or some shorts, a white T-shirt, if you will, and just some
N1 shorts, and a white tee.
Listen, it don't matter what shorts they are. They could be some damn Pele. It don't matter. Once they go, they go. They go. And speaking of back to school, we want to thank one of our sponsors who has been doing a phenomenal job with everything that's going on in our community. That is 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Yes, they've been doing, such a great job in the community with the back-to-school rallies, a lot of the COVID testing, making sure that our city is aware of what's going on. So if you have a chance, matter of fact, make a chance, go to www.943wybc.com and listen to some good old music. Now, last time we've been on, it had a whole Olympics, NBA championship. Just so many things have came and went, but we are here to bring you the NFL preview. I've been trying to get Chris to, join the NFL fantasy, but Chris said, "Nah, I'm good." Chris said, "I don't want to do that." So, let me see. Okay, here we go.
Look, I served my bid. I was a commissioner for 10 years. 10 years I was a commissioner of a very successful, I don't want to make it sound like a pyramid scheme, but multi-level structured.
Oh, no, it was legit. I was part of it many years.
Okay, we talking about weekly payouts for whoever had the high score out of, throughout the season every week. And then we talking about division score winner, whoever won the division, whoever had the most points for the season. We talking, you was winning 2 racks if you won the championship, and you was winning about I don't know, 800-900 if you came in second place, like 400-500 if you came in third place. It was a very successful, and I ran it with almost basically the same people for that 10-year span. I mean, obviously, there was always some turnovers. There was always a one and done guy in there. Quet was a one and done guy in there. Ruck was a
No,
one and
I
done
was
guy.
in there for 3 years. I was in there for 3 years. 3 years. I
So,
can't.
yeah, that's right. You was in there for 3 years. All right.
Yes, I did.
But I think Ruck was one and done though.
Yeah.
But,
well. By the time Ruck got in, then you had dismantled the whole league. So I mean,
no. He was in, but way before I disbanded, because he was in when we was at the studio. And you gotta remember the studio. We've been out of the studio for going on 3 years.
yeah, but I felt like when he started, that's when you was like, yo, I'm not doing this anymore.
No. Mm-mm. I mean, I was starting to get into that mode where I could see retirement. I could see the end of the tunnel. But the league only been over for 2 years.
Okay. That's it. I don't know why I seem longer than that. I want to see longer.
Feels great. Feels great not to hear people whine and complain. Feels great not to chase people for their money. Feels great not to, hear about people mad about this trade. And it feels great. Fantasy football, all the love and joy, and not in a good way, has been sucked out of me. So, I'm done with that. Good luck to everybody, though.
Sound like you crying like a little bitch. But anyway, NFL preview.
Yo, call it what you need.
NFL preview, man. We are weeks away from some NFL action, and again, I know college football kicked off yesterday, but I want to talk about some NFL. With Aaron Rodgers, saying how, I'm coming back to Green Bay. He got him a new do. Yeah. Oh yes, Hambone was good. We got Hambone on the check-in. El Espanol. Yes, we talking NFL off the rip. We ain't even playing around. We also got Aaron Scott Fleming, aka Bad Luck Chuck. What's going on? So Chris, what team do you think will make a splash this year?
Hold on. Let me just say one thing, man, for Larry, because I see Larry Love in the building. Y'all, I am just as heartbroken as Larry that J.K. Dobbins got a torn ACL and is out for the rest of the season. He was one of my favorite running backs in Ohio State. I was rooting for his success in the NFL. And I thought this year was going to be, I know last year was his rookie year, but I thought this year he was going to be like talked about as one of the premier backs, because I always seen it in JK. And it was just so unfortunate, man, that he caught that ACL tear and is done for the rest of the season. So, man, prayers up for J.K. Dobbins and Ravens fans. You won't hear me say this about another Ravens player. I can tell you that right now. But for that particular one, man, it's tough. It was a tough one today to hear that.
Yeah. Hambone's still chewing on edibles. He keeps talking about Lamar, MVP, Ravens Super Bowl champ. Again.
You see what I'm saying?
Anyway.
You give Larry an inch. You give him an inch of compassion, right? Then he starts saying stuff like this. Joe Harris, the best 3-point shooter in the league. Whatever like nonsense he comes up with, but you try to give him a little bit. Jeez.
His name is El Espanol, and he can't speak a lick of Spanish. But that sums it up right there. That sums it up. But so Chris, man, going into the league, what are you expecting to see? What are your expectations, if you have any? And then I'll get to mine.
I mean, expectation-wise, I think the Patriots are going to be a little better than people are ready for. And I never thought I'd be saying that. I think if Cam is healthy and stays out of a COVID situation, people are going to be pleasantly surprised about the campaign that Cam Newton's going to have this year. The Jets are going to be bad. The Lions are going to be bad. Waiting to see what happens with the Texans and the Dolphins. I think Miami would be a great place for Deshaun Watson. Great place for Deshaun Watson. He automatically becomes the best quarterback in that division. And I'm expecting huge things, big things from the Los Angeles Rams. And if they don't produce those big things, then this season is a wash and they need to bring it. They need to tear it all down. They paid a lot of people a lot of money to have this stacked team. They got rid of Jared Goff, which I think was a good decision, to bring in Matthew Stafford, who has always had this this cloud over him. Like, yo, man, if he only had a great team, he would be, talked about like everybody else. Well, here's your chance. You got it now. So we're going to see what happens with that. I do.
We got some bold predictions. Buffalo coming out of the AFC.
That ain't no bold prediction. It's something that could happen. I don't think it will, but it's something that could happen. I mean, they got just as good a chance as anybody. I feel like Buffalo could get to the AFC Championship game. They get to the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, they got a chance. I ain't saying it's a good chance. A lot of people had chances against Michael Jordan when he got those three-peats. It wasn't a great chance, but it was a chance.
Please don't start, because Aaron up here, and please don't, because Aaron think anything after 1990 is not good basketball. Don't get him started, please don't.
Listen, let me frame this. I'm just talking about the years where Michael Jordan was in his prime winning chips. All those other teams had chances. Utah, Seattle, Phoenix, the Blazers, they all had chances. Just, all right, I'm done.
Okay, exactly.
I'm done.
You know what?
Yo,
between Hairbone and Aaron, family. But this Cowboys and Chiefs Super Bowl in what, Madden 2021?
That's the thing with the Cowboys fans. Where have you seen the proof?
On Madden.
Where have you seen the proof? They start off every year. And listen, not that you shouldn't have, you want to say this is my team's year, all right? But have some, at least like with Larry. I don't think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. But at least the Ravens, I'm like, all right, they have a foundation there where, a lot of teams got to break their way, but they could, right? There ain't nothing that can break the Cowboys' way that's going to make them win the Super Bowl. I don't even know if they're going to win their division.
No, they're not.
And their division stinks.
Listen, the NFC East is definitely, JV compared to varsity when it comes to other, divisions. Now, again, who fault is that? I don't know. It's
the second worst division in the NFL. The second worst.
Who would you say the first? AFC East?
AFC South.
South? Oh, okay.
AFC South. Texans.
Yes.
Jacksonville. Tennessee. Indianapolis.
Uh-oh. Look who is joined on. Ruck, what's going on, man? Oh, hold on. He must have. Let me see if he can.
It's nice of him to join the show in his own house. But whatever.
I don't even know if he's here. He might be somewhere else. Well, he on the check-in though. He on the check-in. Now, so you know what team again, like you, man, two teams who I think if they don't get it done this year, is definitely gonna be some, looking about. That's the Chargers and the Rams. Because like you said, Matthew Stafford, I think he got what he want. Finally, again, I am happy to see him, hopefully he could get appreciated. Hopefully he could get a good line, a good offensive-minded coach. So that's what I'm definitely looking for. And when it comes to the Chargers, I think that the Chargers, again, they have the pieces. And I feel that the Chargers always have what they need for the past, few years. But it's like, what are they going to do with it?
Well, so I don't agree with the Chargers because, this is Herbert's second year, man. And you already saying they need to prove what?
Listen, even when they had Phillip Rivers, they had a solid team. Chargers have been having a solid team for the past 5 years.
Listen, I won't disagree that Phillip Rivers came up short a lot with the teams that he had. But this ain't Phillip Rivers no more. I got to give Justin Herbert a chance before I start saying, yo, you on the clock to show and prove.
Well, I'm not saying him. I'm talking about the organization. Organization.
I mean, the organization got talent. We defensively, they got a good team. Offensively, I think they're a little overrated offensively, if I'm being honest. But Justin Herbert, I think, is the truth, and we're gonna see what happens with him.
So that's why I said the Chargers, not just Justin Herbert, but the Chargers in general, because I think that they put together a solid team. That if you are a good quarterback, I think you can do a good job. I think Justin Herbert did a phenomenal job last season, not taking that away from him. But it's definitely going to see what the organization can do. Because you had the coaches, then you fire them. Okay, what is the top half going to do? Are you guys going to try to pull the trigger to get a big name in so you can get over the hump, or are you going to say, hey, I think we're good right now, and what we have, we should be okay? But so that's my question. So
you're also missing a lot of pieces, though.
Okay.
Like it's a lot of unknown variables with the Chargers, right? That you have to take into consideration. Okay, they just got a new coach, right? Like Chris said, it's Justin Herbert's second year. They're just gonna get Derwin James back to play this year, right? They lost Melvin Ingram. It's a contract for Bosa. So it's a lot of different things that could be going on with them.
That's fine. Still not letting them off the hook. Because I felt that they had some teams that could have done it, but
those were teams from before. I agree with you that they've had teams that have underperformed for sure. But I gotta go with the team that is Chargers right now. I don't think anybody realistically is saying like, yo, the Chargers going to turn some heads this year. I mean, first of all, they're in the division. They're in the same division as the Chiefs. Okay, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right, Denver. Even though Denver's offense isn't where it needs to be, Denver's defense is still good. The Raiders are a 500 team, so they're going to win one and they're going to lose one. It's not the easiest. It's not the easiest thing for the Chargers. I don't got no high expectations for the Chargers this year. I really don't. And I'm not giving them a pass, but I just don't have any real high expectations. I don't know what they are away from being what they need to be. I couldn't even break that down for you right this second. I just don't think that they're a top tier team in the NFL right this second.
Well, I'm throwing jabs at at the organization top. You know what I mean? Because
I love throwing jabs at the organization. Let's do this.
And here's why I said, because kind of like the Packers, right? And I think that the Chargers get a pass because of they're kind of over there, what division they in. So it's like people kind of back away. But I think that if you are running a team, and let's just step back a little bit, right? Some of them Charger teams, if they had one piece. If they could have just restructured the contract, really got players where they need to be, they could have really been a very, very good team. But what happens is with the Chargers is, if the Chargers are having a mediocre season, it flies on the radar. No one gets blamed. Everything is okay. But now it's time to put your feet to the fire. Yes, did they lose pieces? Of course. But come on now. You have this young quarterback. Get him some weapons. Help him out. Okay, don't put all of the onus on him and say, "Well, you got to win because you are our future." Get him what he needs so he can get over that hump. That's what I'm saying. Because Phillip Rivers, good, great quarterback, Hall of Famer, but he didn't have enough at times to get to where he had to go. And we're seeing this in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay.
I don't agree with that. I think Phillip Rivers did have the pieces that he needed. Phillip Rivers. At a certain point,
when they fired Marty Schottenheimer for what? When he had his coaches, like, come on, like just keep the coaching staff intact.
I love Marty Ball, but a lot of people don't. But I'm a running back. I love Marty Ball, but even without Marty,
dang gummit, Chris.
What'd you say?
I said, dang gummit, you can't keep that one out.
I'm just saying, I love Marty Ball, but I know other people don't. And even when Marty left, you still had the likes of, you got to remember, on some of them teams, you had prime Antonio Gates, prime LaDainian Tomlinson, prime Phillip Rivers. I don't want to say prime, but Vincent Jackson was a problem at one point. He was a problem. He had
R.I.P. Vincent Jackson.
R.I.P. Vincent Jackson. They had the weapons, and they choked against the Patriots. Or the Patriots or the Steelers. Every single time. I won't blame that on the organization. That's on Phillip Rivers.
Yo, that's on the talent. And then just to further Chris's point, after that, when they do lose Jackson, Yates, Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers still has that team contending. But if y'all remember, there were at least 3 years that they at least 4 or 5 games out of that whole season by a field goal or less. Because remember, for the last 3 years, they would go on runs. They would either start the season out hot or cold, and then put a tough run together at the end. So that's not just the organization. You got to lay that at the feet of the players, and namely Phillip Rivers.
Again, I'm going to see what's going to happen this year. Again, I'm not expecting a Super Bowl run. No, I'm not saying that. But that's a team that I want to watch because I think that people. Again, it's been a lot of crazy fans that's been anointing Justin Herbert as becoming of, the next great thing. And I hope he is. But I just hope that he can get the help that he needs around him. Now, speaking of help that he needs, I want to throw it to Ruck real quick, man. Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers. What's up with him, man? What's going on?
Listen, man, it's Sunday. We ain't going to do this today.
Yes, man. Nah. I just want to know, do you think that he has what it takes, or do you think he's burnt out? I just want to know your opinion of what's going on in Green Bay with Aaron.
So my opinion is that what's happening now and what's going to happen to our team over the next 5 years is karma. This is absolute and total karma. This is karma for what happened in the Brett Favre debacle. This is karma in how we treated our quarterback. And a lot of key players that he brought up in his press conference that, again, Green Bay historically has not done anything in free agency. They've not treated their players well that were at least stars on that team. So this is what we deserve. So we get a last dance, for lack of a better word. But the funny thing about it, and Aaron had just mentioned this in his last press conference last week, he said he doesn't consider this a farewell tour, but he does realize that this probably will be his last year in Green Bay. So me, just like he has said, I'm going to just sit back and enjoy it because I think we're going to see him play free. I think we're going to see him play with a big chip on his shoulder. I expect MVP performances, but in terms of what the future is now, we could definitely take shots at the organization with this because this is all their fault. This was a bad game of chicken that they lost.
So Hambone said, Ruck. Now, I know you can't read it. Hambone said, what kind of help do Aaron Rodgers need? He said he got a top 5 receiver and a top 10 back. I would like for you to answer that question.
Let me say this, right? Anybody that knows football, which I'm going to go out on a limb, even though he's a Ravens fan, and say Hambone knows football, right? Regardless if you have a true number 1 receiver, you will always need a solid top 2. All the great teams have had great tandem receivers. Think about we'll go back to Chris's team, right? Manning, you always have Marvin Harrison, right? But with Marvin, there was also Reggie Wayne. There was also a Brandon Stokely, right? Name who the others are on Green Bay besides Ted. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. So no, he don't have that. So no, Hambone, we don't have. He does not have all the pieces that he had, or that he should have.
Well, didn't you guys get Randall Cobb back?
Again, we get an aging Randall Cobb back, which I think is going to be great for us, though. But again, we get that, and we still don't have a true number 2 because he's not a number 2. Randall Cobb is a number 3. So we don't have that. And we haven't been able to develop that because we've had holes in other areas, right? You're talking about having a top 10 running back, but who's the backup now? Okay, the backup's in Detroit, where he shouldn't be. So it's piss poor, man. I've never seen, and we said this in private conversations. I'll say it again now. I've never seen a white franchise quarterback treated like Aaron Rodgers has been treated.
Crazy. Yo, it's so funny just to see how, not only he's a white quarterback, but he's a great quarterback. I mean, reigning MVP, and even if he wasn't the reigning MVP, you still would want to get him what he needs to be where he needs to be, and that has been the funniest part of all of this. Hambone said Valdez Scandrick. That's what he said, right?
And again, this is we're talking about Hambone here. Listen, let me tell you something, because Hambone, I now consider Hambone a true brother of mine, right? We're gonna call and get you some help, because apparently that insecticide that leaked, and you've been inhaling some stuff that you shouldn't be. So I'm calling your wife after the podcast, and we're gonna get you some help. Mark Valdez Scantling. You talking about don't throw it to stone hands? Are you serious?
He said we are picking and choosing who we are putting pressure on. How so, Hambone? Are you saying because Aaron Rodgers, the statements aren't true, or because I don't see a problem with what Ruck is saying. I mean, I could be wrong, but I really don't see the problem that he's saying, because even when I feel that Aaron Rodgers had the weapons that he needed, I think that Green Bay definitely said, nope, I think you can do with less because you're Aaron Rodgers. You don't need Jordy right now. No, you're good. We can get you somebody else. But I want to see how Aaron Rodgers responds this year. That's my goal. That's my goal. I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see is he going to still put up those numbers amidst of what he's going through. But moving on from Green Bay, Ruck, what other team are you looking to see? Are you have high expectations for teams that are overrated? Just your overall take on it right now. You hear me, Ruck? If you talk, we can't hear you. All right, Chris, I'm going to move on to you, sir. What teams do you have? Are you interested in seeing this year? High expectations, or just anything that you like to chime?
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I think we got him.
There we go. Did you hear what I said, Ruck?
Oh, maybe we lost him again. All right. Well, as far as high expectations, obviously number one on the list would be the Chiefs. Which would also be kind of crazy if this would be their third straight Super Bowl if they make it.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now. Nope. Now we can't hear him. But I would say the Chiefs are up there, high expectations. The Buccaneers, high expectations. The Rams, like I said earlier, and the San Francisco 49ers, high expectations. This is supposed to be, their year. As far as the AFC, only people I got high expectations for are the Chiefs and I guess the Bills. No, I know. I think they'll be surprisingly good. I don't necessarily have high expectations.
Right.
This. But I guess the Chiefs and the Bills out of AFC. Those are the only two teams. I know Hambone probably goes Ravens, but I don't think they're going to win this year. I think coming out of AFC is either going to be Buffalo or the Chiefs. NFC, as always, super loaded, and it's a gauntlet. So whoever can survive it, whoever comes out of it, is going to be most equipped to go against whoever comes out of the AFC. But those would be the teams I got. Rams, Green Bay, 49ers, Tampa Bay, Chiefs, Buffalo Bills. I think those are your, I don't know what the Vegas line is, but I would say those would be your top Vegas lines for winning the Super Bowl. Those 5 or 6 teams.
I know Hambone going crazy in the comments right now.
He's going crazy. He's probably writing a thesaurus right now, so he's like tripping over it. He's tripping. Now, what team are you?
His joint still say typing.
Yeah. Now, real quick, Chris, what surprise team do you see coming? In the AFC and the NFC. Again, this is just spitballing here.
Again, the Patriots. The Patriots, okay. And for one of the reasons why I got the Patriots probably a little higher than people got to have them is that defense last year was pretty good, and they had like 9 opt-outs. But this year they got their whole squad. They're gonna be serious.
How about NFC side?
NFC side. That's you know what? If I had to pick anybody in the NFC, kind of that might surprise people, it's the Saints. Yeah, I think Jameis Winston has gotten a bad knock, and I think he's going to show people some stuff. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Hit that Winston on.
That's funny. All right. Now I think those are definitely solid team to watch. Ruck, for you, I was asking and then you kind of went off, but what team do you see, being, the team that's really gonna, do work, and what teams are you saying you're not even giving no expectation to because of where they are, in your opinion?
So no expectations?
Yeah, right. So it's like, what team do you have high on your board? Like, these teams, they're going to do really, really well. And teams that have the bottom, like, yeah, they're going to still be right here. And they, just on what you're seeing at this present moment.
I would say teams that are going to be who they are. I think all the teams that Chris just named are going to be those teams that are just going to be who they are. The Chiefs, the Bills, Tampa Bay. I do want to say the Rams, but I just don't know. I don't know. Could it be a better plug-and-play situation with Stafford? Yeah, it could be. But also, maybe not. We never know. Teams that I'm actually looking to kind of turn some type of corner, depending on where Dak is with his shoulder, I really expect the Cowboys to be a little bit stronger this year. I would say too that I expect the Ravens to take a better step. So even bringing Hambone in, I expect the Ravens to be better than they were last year, because that's one thing I will say about them. They have committed to giving Lamar the stuff that he needs to be successful. So I would love to see them take a major step forward. I think the Saints are a sleeper. I think a lot of people are kind of writing them off, but the one thing that people forget in that 30 interception campaign that Jameis had, he also had over 30 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So people really forget about that, and it's not like they lost Michael Thomas or they lost Alvin Kamara because they didn't. They just lost an aging Drew Brees that couldn't really make throws. So the Saints are still a great team. So I expect them to do some big things too.
You know what? And to piggyback on that Saints point, you also got to remember, Sean Payton, who I'm not the biggest fan of, different kind of coach than Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians wants to air it out deep. No risk it, no biscuit. That's Bruce Arians' philosophy. That's not Sean Payton's philosophy. He will. I don't want to say he'll dink and dunk you down, but he likes to run smart, efficient plays. You know what I mean? He doesn't try to go for the home run all the time, and I think that was a detriment to Jameis Winston at that time in his career. And I think even though Jameis Winston has a huge arm, and that's why I think that was part of the reason why Bruce Arians wanted to push the ball down the field as much as he did in that 30-30 year, I think with Sean Payton, he's going to dial it back a bit. You can rely more on your running game because, Fournette and even Ronald Jones, Fournette wasn't there with the Buccaneers, and Ronald Jones wasn't the back that he is now when Jameis Winston was there. Alvin Kamara, arguably the number one back in the league. That is special. That could do multiple things. Running the ball, catching the ball out of the backfield. He is a complete 4-down back. You could rely on the running game more than he did in Tampa Bay at that time. The receivers are not, they got good receivers, but they got possession receivers. Michael Thomas is great. He's a possession receiver. He ain't burning you down the field. He's going to run good routes, get open, sit down, and wait for the ball. So I do think this is going to be a different type of team with Jameis Winston up there. And I think it's going to be a good one. I really do. I believe that.
You know what? I am rooting for, James, because I think that his career, man, it's been one of the craziest careers that I've seen in a long time. I mean, you go from, rookie of the year to this guy's on his way. Then I don't know, he has a crazy drop off, but then he give you the 30 for 30. So very entertaining, to say the least. And you realize that this guy can't even see because he don't have glasses. So I don't know, but like you said, Chris, and I agree. I think that him being in New Orleans is a really good fit for him. That the Saints are still big on Taysom Hill at quarterback.
He's a gadget guy, and that's what he's gonna be, and that's what he need to be.
I mean, I think that he could be used in other places, but hey, who am I? I don't know. But that's something that I would agree with James. I want to see him play, and I definitely want to see him shine. Outside of all the jokes that have been on him, but another player, and again, we haven't been on for a while, and I kind of wanted to say this for air, Deshaun Watson. My goodness, what is going to happen to Mr. Watson? Is he going to be able to play ever again? Are the Texans going to shelf him just to send a message? What are the reports of what's going to happen to Deshaun Watson that you guys know of?
Well, the reports are that the Miami Dolphins are in a heavy conversation with the Houston Texans to acquire him. Here's a hiccup that is, I would say slowing this trade down. People want certain protections in some of the trades some of the draft picks that they'll give up for Deshaun if he is convicted and is subsequently suspended because of the conviction. That's what's holding things up right now. Deshaun is in a real limbo state as far as what's going to happen to him. Okay? Obviously, he's got the accusations, and people who feel a way about the accusations feel a way about the accusations. Then he's got the actual court proceedings and charges, and the FBI is actually investigating not just Deshaun Watson, because I see that ESPN likes to just kind of focus on the fact that the FBI is investigating Deshaun Watson. They're also investigating the other lawyer who got all of these women together for the claim and a few of the other women for blackmailing. This is a real sticky, hairy situation, and I know people want to just make it like this one line. He's either a bad guy who assaulted these women or he didn't. I don't know what he did on either side. I just know that there's a lot of muck that people got to get through to kind of be clear on what side of the fence Deshaun is going to fall on ultimately after everything is said and done. That's what's slowing up the trade process. I think the Texans they kind of put out there what they want for him. They want 3 first-rounders and, a player, a good player. And I think that is totally acceptable for Deshaun Watson. So we'll see what happens.
Right. And like you said, Chris, I mean, I think that you said it perfectly. We just don't know. And in a situation like that, I think at the beginning when we were talking about it, we always had a side eye to it. Like, how is this lawyer getting away with this with his sketchy history, but that's beside the point. But you got to look at what team is willing to give that up. And there are some teams that say, listen, if we get Deshaun Watson, we know that we can be successful within the next year or 2 or 3. But we know with him we can do it. And you made a great point. It's like you need that insurance, because if he does get convicted, just whatever happens, teams are definitely looking at that. Owners, we know who these owners are, and the way they look at these black athletes is sometimes totally different than what we know them to be.
Well, I'll also say this: he could get suspended without getting convicted,
which is sad.
You know what I mean? I mean, a la go look at what happened with Zeke. So that's a possibility. So I think the Texans are a bit hesitant because they don't want to trade him for the value that they would get back, but then have to give some of that value back if he gets suspended. Okay? Because then the team that would have him, okay, worst case scenario, you probably got to sit him for a year, but then the next year you got Deshaun Watson and you got maybe some picks back that you traded to get it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the hairy situation that he's in right now. Aside from his personal life, but he seems not to be worried about it at all, which is alarming.
Well, I think, if you didn't do anything, that's illegal, and you have a good,
that's true.
Team,
that's true.
If you have a good team, again, if it's just some fetish or again, this is all allegations here.
Allegedly.
Yeah, this is all alleged. I'm just spitballing here. I don't know the whole case. But if you didn't do nothing that's illegal in the hands of the law, then I would be calm too. And but also you want to keep faith. You don't want to be looking all nervous and because teams that regardless of what you are, how you speak is how people will perceive you, and that's that. But going back to one team that I'm interested to see, not because they are my team, it is the 49ers. Coming off a season of injuries that riddled a team that was in the Super Bowl, I would like to know what happened. And then also having a young quarterback like Trey Lance. Do I think Trey Lance would get the start at week 1? Of course not. Like I was telling Chris, I think week 4 and 5 is really going to show what's going on. I like that there is competition. I don't think that G had the competition for the past few years, but I want to see what's going to happen now that Trey's there. And, kind of the Niner Empire is saying, well, kind of, it's like on a fence. You don't have everyone that's like, yes, get Jimmy out of there. You have some of us are saying, nah, keep Jimmy in there. Let him, do his thing. He got the Super Bowl. That's what, you look at. But then you got half of it like, yo, listen, let's put Trey Lance in there. That offense is, ready for him, is ready made for a mobile quarterback. But whatever happens, I'm fine with that as long as we're winning ball games. But I want to see, can people stay healthy? Like, what's going to happen with Nick? How is Nick going to look? Is he ready to play? Is that going to affect his psyche? Because we all see players come back from a ACL tear or like a crazy injury, and mentally they aren't right. It's not the injury; it's the psyche of it. So you see guys come back a little timid. So that's what I want to see, and also I want to see how Dak is going to look. I try to watch the Hard Knock thing, fellas. I just couldn't get into it this year. Like I'm tired of seeing Cowboys on Hard Knocks. It's like, come on, like I don't. But
Could I add something to both of y'all real quick though?
Yeah, please, sir.
To a 49ers fan and a former 49ers fan.
Don't you put that kind of evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that kind of evil on me.
Shake and bake. Yo, because I was just thinking this the other day. The way that Shanahan wants to run that offense, the potential that offense has, the weapons that we seen Jimmy G utilize, right? Why didn't y'all go with Justin Fields?
Well, Justin Fields, either or Justin Fields, Trey Lance, I think that they both bring something to the table. I think that they are both mobile quarterbacks.
They definitely bring something to the table, but Justin is coming with an appetizer and a drink.
Kinda.
And I like that more for my money. I'm just saying. I'm just spitballing, as you said.
I mean, like, I like Justin Fields. I think he's a great quarterback. I don't. To me, I can't tell you why. I just prefer Trey Lance because I think that Trey Lance had, to me, again, something to prove because he didn't play at a big school. You know, even when he had a good record, people were saying, "Well, he didn't play against nobody." You know, I think that we saw what Justin could do. You know, and right. So now you have a quarterback that's saying, "Oh, I didn't get to play against nobody," but then you guys can say that Carson Wentz is one of the best players of all time, and he came from the same school as me, and he didn't do what I did. I'm gonna show you. So
Carson Wentz was overhyped.
Right. But again, Trey Lance, he's a different animal. I
see you capping for your team, and that's cool.
Nah,
cool, no, as you should.
But before that, I told y'all I wanted Trey Lance. Remember when y'all asked me?
No.
I just want Trey.
You did, and that's because somewhere deep inside you got like some Michigan love, and I don't understand it. So you root against greatness. Okay, you root against it. It's that you like Tom Brady. Brady went to Michigan, so you got like a little thing against Ohio State. But listen, we better now. Listen,
LeBron would have went to Michigan State had he had been one and done.
No, he wouldn't. He would have went to Ohio State, and you know it. And
I'm sorry. Ohio State. I apologize. Yeah, so I'm not.
LeBron would have went to Ohio State.
Right. So I'm not rooting against Ohio State. And then also, Justin Fields, he went to the school that's in the muck waters of Georgia. So right there, he's already tainted. I mean, it's like,
He went to Georgia. All right. Yeah, big time program, and left for greener pasture. Came over to the real side, and he showed what he was about to do. Listen, I think Trey Lance has the potential to be great. I do think that. See, I don't think Justin Fields got the potential. I know he's going to be great. I know. To me, Justin Fields can't miss. He can't miss.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is the entree with them prime rib, egg rolls.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen. I'm not knocking Justin Fields, but I didn't see nothing. I was like, wow, this guy, he's like the best coming of whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, I think people.
But if you say that, you ain't see that from Trey.
I see Trey do some things. But here's the thing, though, right? But here's the thing, though. See, my only problem is like people are like, oh well, Justin got a lot to prove. No, he don't. This guy, his work spoke for him. There is no chip on his shoulder. He was picked in the top 10. Why?
First of all, he was picked 11th. And yes, there's a chip on his shoulder because he doesn't feel that Trey Lance and Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. He don't feel like those three quarterbacks was better than him. And I agree.
Zach Wilson is not better than him. No, Zach Wilson is not better than him. I agree with that. Okay, now when you want to talk about Sunshine, okay. But
listen, him and Sunshine battled their whole lives. They both from Georgia.
Yes, that's true.
Every step of the way, Justin has been better than him. But for some reason, Trevor Lawrence got the tap. Trevor got the tap.
But then you think about it. How many chips has Trevor Lawrence won in the young college?
Hey Chris,
you got one. What's up?
Chris, you know what we got to do here? Because he's starting to sound like if we having a conversation about Marvin Lewis. We just gotta let it go.
Nah.
That's an excellent point. Nah. You're right.
No. Seriously. Here's the thing, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think that Justin Fields should have no chip on his shoulder. If you know how good he is, like Justin Fields is a great quarterback. Right? I don't think that he even gotta be upset about that. When you get on that field, just play. Just play. Like, we know the politics of the NFL. And I think that, did it escape him because of what the NFL wanted? Of course. But I'm not going to sit here and say, well, he got a lot to prove. No, listen, if you want to prove something, you just play ball. Okay? Because we saw what you did at. Listen, we know you got robbed at, Georgia. We already know that. Okay? We saw what you did at Ohio State. Just play. Just play.
If you think Justin Fields don't got a chip on his shoulder, you don't know Justin Fields. Justin Fields got a chip. And whether you think his chip should be there or not, Justin has a chip on his shoulder. Because Justin feels disrespected. I'm telling, and you saw that the night he got drafted. He was like, man, he put on that Bears head. He was like, man, let's hurry up and get this popping. Because he ain't ready to show.
Yes, just show. Just show.
Yo,
that's it. Just show.
One of the other things, though, because I was just like browsing through the comments, and I see the great TC is trying to down my comment about the Cowboys. Listen,
Cowboys, yes.
In the NFC least, right? Right? In the NFC least, let's keep it funky. If you look at the Cowboys roster top to bottom, they should be good. They should be really good. They have a good offensive line. They got a B-level quarterback. They have a top-tier running back. They have, I would say they have a number one in CD. They have a true number two in Gallup. They got some people that you can sprinkle in as the slot receivers. They got a good defense with a good rookie outside linebacker now. You're talking about Micah Parsons. You're talking about Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory. Why shouldn't the Cowboys be expected to be good in the NFC least?
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with what you're saying, Rock.
So TC, you wildin', boy. Get on the mic, though. We're going to talk about the Patriots.
Oh, first of all, I disagree. I think you need to switch the two characteristics you gave Dak and Zeke. I think Zeke is a B-level running back now, and Dak is a top-tier quarterback.
Oh,
that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Why? Break that down for me, though.
Yeah.
All right. So we saw the steadily, and don't nobody want Zeke to be Zeke more than me, but we've seen the decline in Zeke's production for the past few years. That's been evident.
I mean, he had injury.
He had no injury last year.
Okay, but he was coming back. You know,
he had no injury last year. He was fully healthy and needed.
He had an injury called fundulitis last year.
Yeah, that's the injury he had last year. And before that, it's been a steadily decline since he was the Russian champ.
Okay.
No, not Russian champ. He was a Russian champ. It's been a steadily decline, and actually, it's been a steeper decline since he got his big contract. On the other hand, Dak has progressively got better. Listen, for me, a top-tier quarterback is somebody that's above the halfway line as far as quarterbacks is concerned. Dak is above the halfway line.
I feel you.
He is. So that's why I will put Dak as a top-tier quarterback, and I will put Zeke as a B-level running back. I mean, when you start naming a running back, you go Kamara, Cook, Henry, McCaffrey, Saquon, Chubb, and you still ain't talking about Zeke yet.
True.
Oh, matter of fact, you probably bring up Green Bay running back before. I mean, you start putting that. Zeke ain't been in the top tier running backs for a couple years now. Now I do think he's gonna bounce back this year. I think he's gonna show improve. He looked like he recommitted himself. He looks like he's in shape. The line is a little bit better. Dallas got a lot to prove. They always got a lot to prove. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, that's true.
With all that being said, though, no, I don't believe in Dallas. If Washington can just get subpar quarterback play, I'm picking Washington.
Yeah.
Because Washington's defense is the realest thing in the NFL. The realest thing in the NFL, Washington's defense.
Absolutely agree.
That's how much I don't believe in the Cowboys. That even with all of the talent that Ruck has eloquently put forth, I'll still take Washington if they just get baseline quarterback play because they got everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So real quick though, and to Chris's point, and Chris, you brought up a lot of great points. Washington is what you would compare, and I may be stretching this a little bit, but I think I'm here. Washington is what you would compare that Baltimore team with Trent Dilfer.
Yes. Or I mean,
if they get a game manager, they will be great.
I won't put them that high, but I see what you're saying. Though. Definitely do see what you're saying.
Because I think the running game is there, the defense is there, like Chris said, They do have some really good wide receivers. All you need is a manager.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, let's see what Ron Rivera does. Let's see what Ron
Not
Rivera
much,
does.
I'm sure.
Riverboat Ron.
Yeah, so again, when you're talking about coaches, got to see what's gonna happen on that aspect. Real quick, because I'm on my iPad, so it's steady dwindling. College football. I know we're not gonna dive head first, but what do you guys expecting, man? They got this whole Power 5 coming up. You talking about merging the conferences, which I think they should have been done, but who am I? How do you guys like Texas?
You are the professional Sutton.
How do you guys like Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC? How do you like that?
I tell you, and Chris, this is for you. I tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like quite hyping me up yesterday like it was going to be some real college football on, and he got
that
the
was
schedule
my fault.
wrong.
That
and he got the schedule clearly wrong.
Yes,
No. I think the marquee game yesterday was Nebraska versus
Illinois.
No, but listen, they ain't much of a marquee game, but that was the marquee game.
I had misspoke about the Alabama and Miami game. I had looked at the wrong date. I was like, oh yeah, it's coming on. Then I was like, oh, never mind. That's next week. So
that boy had me sitting waiting for Alabama and Miami, and he ain't got nothing in him.
Oh, I ain't know he had you like that. Yeah,
that was my fault.
You can't keep doing this, Quet. You better get them damn eyes checked.
Listen, I saw the wrong date. I was premature in my ejaculation with that. So
Pause.
We got some good ones coming up. September 11th, Ohio State versus Oregon. Should be good. I mean, you're gonna watch them, but
that's gonna be good. Listen. Just the names, man. Like
the names are gonna be good.
Huh?
But we gonna watch them. It's gonna be a route. It's gonna be a route by the second, maybe the third if they love.
You talking about Bama gonna have that track meet on?
Bama gonna track meet them. Ohio State gonna track meet Oregon. Those are just happening.
But then week 3, my Florida Gators get to play Alabama. That's
early.
Yes, early. Yeah, I know, right?
Early.
Like, usually we gotta wait, but now we trying to see what we about.
Hey yo,
early, man. That's gonna be a good one.
Yo, you heard this here first. Miami beats Bama.
Ooh.
Listen, won't nothing make me happier than De'Aaron King getting that quick dub over Bama.
Yo, if that happens, that's gonna shake up the college world, man. That's gonna really shake things up.
It's not, but it's nice to think about.
Yeah, it's not. But if it were to happen though, like, would Miami be able to hold it, or would they be so happy like they were a few years ago and then just let everything go?
Listen, Miami, I don't know, man. Miami is starting to change the tide. I don't think they're anywhere close to what they used to be.
Oh, no.
But I do see them starting to. They're getting their stuff together. So we'll see.
But you gotta remember, yo. You know what? And again, I'm just talking here. See how we see Miami, right? Because we're much older, and we don't feel older. So when we talk about like the old Miami, like we're talking about really old, 20 years. That's a long time. So kids that's watching now, young kids, like they don't remember Miami being a dominant football team. They don't remember that. They just know Miami being like a mid-level tier team. They don't remember the dominance of Miami. So again, time goes by so fast, especially in sports. When in sports, time go by so fast. So if you haven't done nothing within the past 5 years, it really does not matter. But we're still holding on to the hope. Like, we know how good Miami is. Like, I mean, those kids in that area, if they recruit well, it sounds like, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that Ohio State has been going down there taking all the kids, man.
That's what we do.
Yo, they just been in Florida like it ain't nobody's business. But
yo, shout out to Marvin Harris Jr. He gonna be something special.
Yeah.
This year, you know what I mean. Now he ain't gonna be the starter because we still Chris Olave, the top rated wide receiver prospect coming out of college this year, is our number 1, and Garrett Wilson, who's gonna be another top tier prospect, is number 2. He's gonna get some number 3 burn, and he's been looking real special. Okay, looking he looked like a faster version of his dad.
What? Okay. Well, I remember seeing him in high school.
And let me say this: if he a faster version of his daddy, that means on the trigger too. Bang.
Let's say something. Don't you
say
something to him if you want.
Yo, don't you speak that goon name on this podcast. We don't want Marvin Harris Sr. coming because he's shooting.
Listen. That kid, he's a suburb kid.
You don't speak that. You don't speak his name on this podcast because you know he listening or got people listening, and he do things. So Marvin, how you doing, sir? I hope you have a blessed day. All right.
Oh my God. Listen, fellas. I just want to say, wonderful show. We will be doing another one soon. I can't wait. But before we go, I just want to say one thing. Then we gotta go to say word. The Wire is finally getting better. I'm on season 4 now, okay? Marlo is really bringing some relief to the show.
You on 4, you said? Season 4?
Yes. Marlo is really helping me out here. I just want to say that. But,
and by the way, the price went up on the brick.
Okay. I can see
that. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah. Fat Joe, you stupid. So Ruck, man, say word. What is the word for the good people? Again, we definitely got to thank our sponsor 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Before we close out, we got to get our brother, the Deacon, this show on Aloquacious Rucker.
Let him use you. Let him use you.
Say word. Go ahead, brother. Take it away.
Yeah, man, we're gonna keep it real simple this week for say word, people. In this season that we have, man, and as you all should know, we're about to go back on punishment real soon with COVID. But I will say this: use every bit of life up. It's that simple. Use every bit of your life up. Don't leave nothing on the table. We only get one, so live it to the fullest, be fulfilled, and do what you need to do for you, man, and the people around you. So on that note, people, as I always say, be easy and just big, man. Think big.
Let me get Chris up here. Listen, Ruck, man, I definitely appreciate that as always, man. Thank you for that. With that being said, everyone out there, thank you again for tuning into another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, The Ruck Report, Jersey.
Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, The Ruck Report, a.k.a. Jersey.
Ready? This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up? They for real. All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.